Hari Om. Pranam Swamiji. Let me stand a little bit away. Welcome you all for the second class of this Bhagavad Gita Sunday. I have a few announcements to make related to the upcoming events. We have our year-end program coming up from December 24th, year-end camp, family camp from December 24th to 31st. So if you are interested to attend, please register online. And on 31st, we have, like every year, we do Moola Mantra Jabam for Dakshinamurti here in the temple. So this year we are planning to start at 3 p.m. in the afternoon because that day is Pradosham as well. So after the Kalasha Puja, 108 Kalasam will be used for Abhishekam of the Dakshinamurti in the evening around 6 o'clock. So please make a note of it. All are welcome, whoever is online as well. You are welcome, and we'll be live streaming as well. And on 1st January, New Year Abhishekam will be done as usual. Starting at 9 o'clock, we'll do Sankalpam, and the Abhishekam will start. And all Swamijis will be giving their blessings for the New Year. And for the New Year, we have already sent the year-end letter, and also the volunteers will be calling you or already called you. So if you wish to do Sankalpam for the New Year day, so please sponsor. It's $100 as you know every year. So we welcome all the sponsorships to start the New Year 2026. And then this year we have starting first evening till 4th, we have a meditation retreat based on Nirvan Shatakam by Swami Sachidanandaji. So that's another camp is coming up immediately after the New Year is done. And 2026 calendar, the first version is already released, and we'll be updating it today, tomorrow with the topics of all these Swamijis which we have taken from all Swamijis and Swaminis. So that will be updated as well in our next email and also on our website. So the registration for 2026 will be open up pretty soon. We are working on that, and it will also be notified. And people who are in California or who are traveling to California between December 13th and 14th, Swami Sachidananda is doing an outreach program over there in Milipitas on the topic Ashtavakara Gita, select verses. So if you are interested, please look for the details in our weekly emails, which is already there, the flyer, and also shared in other groups. So maybe you can register and attend those things. So with that, thanks for everyone here as well as in online, and thank you, Swamiji. And for people here, I have printed the verse from 16 onwards as well. So if you want, you can take it. Thank you. Thank you, Swamiji.
ॐ विश्वं दर्पणदृश्यमाननगरी तुल्यन्निजान्तर्गतं पश्यन्नात्मनि मायया बहिरिवोद्भूतं यथा निद्रया यस्साक्षात् कुरुते प्रबोधसमये स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयं तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये बीजस्यान्तरिवाङ्कुरो जगदिदं प्राङ्निर्विकल्पं पुनः मायाकल्पितदेशकालकलना वैचित्रचित्रीकृतं मायावीव विजृम्भयत्यपि महायोगी वयस्वेच्छया तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्तिः 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 सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम् यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः 15th verse अर्जुन उवाच पश्यामि देवांस्तव देवदेहे सर्वांस्तथा भूतविशेषसङ्घान् ब्रह्माणमीशं कमलासनस्थम् ऋषींश्च सर्वानुरगांश्च दिव्यान्. So, Arjuna describes this cosmic form of Lord with the grace of Ishvara. The Lord gave him this extraordinary eyes, Divya Chakshu, and because of that he is able to see, and he is giving a description. Before that Sanjaya described in few verses. And we were seeing that the meter here has changed in order to draw our attention. As though Vyasacharya wanted to highlight the description of the Arjuna of this Vishwarupa. And the first and foremost reaction or response on the part of Arjuna seeing this form is a wonder, Ashcharya. And it is very natural. Once you have this a cosmic vision, definitely you will not have a vision from the individual standpoint. So we generally divide the world into two, a favorable, unfavorable, based on one's own disposition of the mind in terms of likes and dislikes. That's an individual. So over and above the objective creation, we also superimpose on that, favorable and unfavorable. I want something to happen in the world. That's my like. I want something not to happen. It's a dislike. Things happen on their own course, but I don't want to happen, or I want to happen, etc. And therefore, once that individual perception comes, you lose the objectivity, because a subjectivity occurs. As you lose the objectivity, you will not be able to see this objective creation as a Ishvara. So Bhagavan as though has suspended his subjectivity right now by giving this extraordinary eyes, that is Divya Chakshu, so that he is able to see everything. And definitely once you see that of such a magnitude, well, you will have a wonder. That's what we were saying. Anything which is of a immense magnitude, well, you will have a wonder. It could be a fruit, flower, or anything. Even a person, if you see compared to all of us, if he is a very, very tall and a very hefty person. Initially when I came from India, generally here people have a more height, weight, etc. generally. So when I came here and I used to visit certain, market, some Costco's or something. Sometimes I see people who are very hefty and even tall also. So I wonder. Seeing certain vegetables also I wondered, like a cabbage, So this is common. Seeing of a big magnitude, this wonder is a common response. Same thing, then seeing cosmos as a Ishvara, the whole cosmos simultaneously. We are able to see from the cosmos only this much part. Then we will not have wonder. But the whole cosmos is shown to you, including all lokas we are seeing. Definitely, there will be a great wonder. And so the first response is this, and Arjuna says, Hey Deva. So, O Lord, Tava Dehe, in your body, in this, your Vishwarupa, in your cosmic body, Sarvan Devan Tatha Bhuta Vishesha Sangan Pashyami. So I see all the gods. And also, Tatha means here also, Bhuta Vishesha Sanghan, multitudes of different living beings. Vishesha means here species. Bhuta means living beings. Word Bhuta is both the ways is used in the Shastra. Bhuta means a Panchamahabhutas, 5 elements. Or Bhuta means a living beings, sentient beings. So here it is living beings. Vishesha, well, different species. So I see in you all the devas, means I am seeing Swarga, definitely. And I am also seeing all the living beings, starting from microorganisms to the most evolved human form. Everything I am seeing in you. Then also I see what? Brahmanam Isham. I am seeing Isham. I am seeing Lord Brahmaji sitting there. Where? Kamalasanastham. So I am seeing Lord Brahmaji, four-faced Brahmaji sitting on a lotus. I am seeing that also in you. And I told you that is quite symbolic thing. And from navel of Vishnu, a lotus appears, and in the lotus, definitely Brahmaji appears. So that Vishnu is nothing but a Maya Avachinna Chaitanyam, and that is Ishvara, which is the cause of the entire creation. And from Maya subtle elements come, all subtle elements. So Sukshma Prapancha, entire Sukshma Prapancha, is say like a lotus. And there Brahmaji appears. Means in the Sukshma Prapancha, definitely the consciousness appears, manifest. We call Samashti Sukshma Prapancha. So Sukshma Prapancha Abhimani Chaitanyam, that is a Hiranyagarbha or Brahmaji. And that alone will be Panchikaranam. Through Panchikaranam becomes gross world. So then the same Ishvara identified with the entire gross world is called Virat. So same, this is what the manifestation is. So, but here it says, Brahmanam Isham, I am seeing Lord Brahmaji in you. That's how Vishnu is called Padmanabha, right? So from whose Nabhi, from whose navel, Padma, this Kamalam, lotus appears. Okay. Then Sarvan Rishimscha, I am also seeing all the rishis, celestial rishis, etc. I am seeing there in your creation, in your body. Then Divyan Uragan cha, I am also seeing Uraga. Urasa gacchati iti uragaha. One which moves through his body, doesn't have legs. Body, through body only it moves. That is all snakes. They don't have legs. So they are called Uraga. As such, Uras means a chest, but here Uras means a body. Their movement is not through the legs. Through the entire body they move. So they are called Uraga, all serpents. So Divyan Uragana Aham Pashyami. I am seeing these celestial snakes, like that Ananta and our Vasuki and all, So I am seeing that also. Means I am seeing 14 worlds, in short. I am seeing 14 worlds. Because this Vasuki and all that, they stay in some adholoka kind of a thing. So that also he is seeing Devan also, Devatas, means he is seeing Swarga, he is seeing Brahmaji, means Brahmaloka also, means he is seeing 14 lokas. The whole universe, Shastra, tells it in terms of 14 worlds. So I am seeing a whole. Let's go to verse number 16. Aneka bahudara vaktra netram pashyami tvam sarvato nantarupam nantam na madhyam na punastavadim pashyami vishveshvara vishvarupa. So Arjuna describes further. Arjuna continues. Aneka bahu udara vaktra netram pashyami. I see countless arms, bahu. I see countless arms in your body. Udara, I see countless stomachs. Aneka udara. Aneka vaktra, I see countless mouths. Aneka netram, I see countless eyes. And again I told you, we should not imagine that Ishvara has one body and in that there are several mouths and several stomachs and all that. That would be very, very scary to see even. And therefore, we should here see this, that in a cosmic form, all these forms, beings, having their distinct forms, they are there. All these forms are included in the boundaries of Ishvara. So all these various living beings having their arms, stomach, mouth, eyes, etc. And therefore what? Ananta Rupam. And therefore, you are the one with endless forms. And each one will be unique. It's amazing. Each one is unique. Even in a one person, everything is unique. 2 hands are not same, 2 earlobes are not same, and 2 fingers are not same, right? It's amazing. All this is from the Ishvara's Maya, whole manifestation. Anyway, and they say thumb impression is not same. This is all they use in biometrics. Thumb impression is not same and the skull is not same. Right eye is different. Our right eye is different from the left eye. This is right, I'm sorry. This is left. But I'm just saying. So even in a single person, eyes are different. That's how they use for identification also, all these kind of things they use. Anyway, so billions of forms are there, and people are there, but this is how it is. Anyway, so Ananta Rupam means you are in a endless, you are the one with a endless forms. Distinct endless forms are all covered in your form. And whatever Arjuna has heard of, well, or studied in the Purana also, including Devas and Yakshas, etc., other celestials, well, he is able to see, Arjuna is able to see them also. It's all because of the Ishvara's Maya. Otherwise, you will not be able to see. Living on the earth will never be able to see Devatas and this other celestial beings. So Bhagavan presents Arjuna with a form that includes everything he knows, or either directly or either indirectly through Puranas, studied Puranas, and therefore he knows certain things exist in a cosmos through Puranas. All Bhagavan is showing to him. Whatever he knows indirectly, whatever he knows directly. Everything is showing. So he must see everything he knows, because then only he will have a Shraddha. Because he thought, when Bhagavan said, with ekam shena sthito jagat, with one part of myself, I manifest in the form of the cosmos. Arjuna was wondering, is it possible that the whole cosmos is you, your body? And therefore Bhagavan is showing everything now. So he will have a Shraddha, totally. So whether there is a yaksha or this or that, we have a doubt, right? Swami, such kind of things are there or not, Svargaloka, who knows are they are there or not. So Bhagavan is showing everything that, look at this, everything which you studied, and you will never be able to see that in a human form. I am showing you. Arjuna must be very lucky. I am telling you, it is not that simple to see this. Lastly, Bhagavan says also that this kind of form, well, is not, one is not able to see through one's devotion also, etc., etc. But Bhagavan had told, given a special status to Arjuna. What is that? Sakha Cheti, etc. In the 4th chapter, he says that, you are my very good friend. Therefore, he is showing. Anyway, so all of them which have been talked in Puranas also have been shown there. So Arjuna has an idea of what exists in the universe, and when he asks to see the cosmic form, naturally expects all these things to see also. So he's seeing all of them. Then further he says, Na antam pashyami, I do not see an end of you. And I have told you, cosmos means it includes even space. What is the end of the space? Nobody answers. Nobody answers. Where space begins and ends? If you say space begins and space ends, then after that what should be there? Space. Right? Space begins and ends, if you say, means definitely the spaces will be covered in another space. The only thing that should be told. So what is the beginning of the cosmos? What is the end of the cosmos? one is not able to say. Because space is a part of creation, cosmos. Therefore, na antam pashyami. So I don't see a top of this your body, or head of your body, the legs of your body. Everything looks very endless. And we have to see here, this is a relative term. Because Arjuna is not included in that form. It is going to come. And therefore, even though it is a cosmic form, we say, it is not including Arjuna. Therefore, it is a cosmic form. So here, endless, etc., or limitless, we have to understand it in terms of a relatively limitless thing. Na madhyam, I do not see a middle of it. Na adihi, nor any beginning. So however a big thing you see, it must have a beginning and end. Then only it will be covered. It will be basically pervaded by a vritti, and that's how you are able to objectify also. But here you will not be, even though you are objectifying cosmic body, but you, frankly speaking, it is real, not able to cover it in a one vritti. Like you want to objectify a space through your thought, you cannot. Why? Because you see the space which is a limited space. The entire space you want to objectify, you cannot. You cannot objectify. Same thing. And Arjuna sees that and describes Bhagavan as what? Vishveshwara, Vishwarupa. Vishveshwara means you are the Lord of the world. Vishwarupa, you are the very cosmic form. Right? Vishwasya Ishvara, you are the very Lord of the world. And you, Vishwarupa, you are very cosmic form. Further, 17th verse. Kiritinam gadinam chakrinam cha tejo rashim sarvato deeptimantam pashyami tvam durniriksham samantad deeptanalarkadyutim aprameyam. Very interesting. Arjuna says, well, I also see you in the form of a Chaturbhuja. I also see you in the form, particular form, which we generally invoke and which we generally worship. That form of you also I am seeing in you. That is Vishnu Rupam. So, what it is? Kiritinam. So, Kiritaha asya asti iti Kiritinam. Kiritaha asya asti iti Kiriti. And Kiritin Shabda is there. Means this particular form is wearing a crown, having a crown on the head. Okay. Then what? Gadinam. So, well, Gada asya asti. So, well, who is in one hand wielding a mess, Gada. And Chakrinam. On the other hand, Chakramasya asti. So one in other hand there is a disc. So definitely this is a particular form which I am seeing in you is the form in which you are wearing a kirit, you are wearing this crown, and also in one hand you have a disc and on the other hand you have a mess. And then that's it, 2 hands? No, generally all our gods have 4 hands. So 2 hands in which there are weapons for a particular purpose. And other 2 hands are there. What are those? In that the third hand basically is extended like this, right? An extended one. Offering a refuge and offering a safety. So offering a safety, let us say, abhayam, we call abhaya hasta. You must have seen Lakshmi's form like that. So this is Abhaya Hasta, this is Varada Hasta. So here they will show also sometime the gold coins are in the picture. So she is a deity of prosperity. But anyway, so this is Abhaya Hasta. So whoever comes and takes a refuge, Bhagavan tells, don't worry, don't be afraid of. That's what he wants to say. Why don't he says that? We'll see that. So, this is the third one is a Abhaya Hasta. And fourth is Bhagavan's fourth, in Vishnu Rupa, the fourth hand is like this, like that. I mean, pointing towards his own leg. Means telling the people that if you come and surrender to me, I will protect you. Means if you surrender to me, I will protect you. So the other two hands are for destroying and 2 hands for protecting. That's it. 4 hands. So you need not be afraid of basically of any source, because Bhagavan has these 2, which is equal to these 2 weapons, chakra and gada, which is equal to all missiles, you can say. Right? Equal to all missiles, all tomahawk and, what is that? The Christians have some kind of a sarmat or something. All types of missiles. Bhagavan said, don't worry about it. I have all missiles with me. I will protect you. Generally they say, Gada, this is what Swamiji used to describe. Gada is meant for taking care of a threat which is nearby. And chakra is meant for taking care of a threat which is away in terms of time and place. Yeah. And so, time and place. So, some obstacle which is going to come even in the future, the chakra, Sudarshan, will be going to take care of it. That's how there is a special yaga, in fact. They call it as a Sudarshan Homa. And there are Sudarshan mantra, etc. So, Om Kling Krishnaya Govindaya, etc. That is a big mantra. And with that, invoking Vishnu, Lord Vishnu, or Krishna, same, because it's an avatar of it. So, you invoke this particular protecting power of Ishvara, which protects you from the obstacles through his disc, etc. Cuts asunder all these obstacles. So chakra basically is a very great weapon, remote in terms of course, both place and time. So which Gada can take care of the issues which are very nearby, which are very imminent, you can say. And chakra can take care of your obstacles which are going to come even in the future. Or chakra can take care of your obstacles which are away from you right now in terms of place also. So therefore, definitely. So Bhagavan gives, because of that Bhagavan says, don't worry about it, abhayam. So in order to protect you, he has to destroy the dangers of samsara. In fact, this is what the purpose of avatar also. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanihi bhavati abhyuthanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijami. So, yada yada hi dharmasya glanihi, whenever there is a decline of a righteous life, or a life which brings a harmony in the universe, that's a righteous life. When that's a glani, decline happens, abhyuthanam adharmasya, and then when there is an increase of adharma, etc., I take avatar. Especially the human form is meant for that. Human form is not just to kill. That's a Varaha, etc., where Bhagavan comes and kills. Hiranyakashipu was killed in a Nrsimha avatar. So there, other than human forms where there is a destruction, of Rakshasa, etc., Adharma. But a human form, not just destruction of that, even education of Dharma, etc., also is important. So education of Dharma, etc., by which Dharma basically is staying in a person. The Dharma is not an entity outside. Dharma is there in the buddhi of everyone. So, giving education also. So, Martya avatara khalu martyasya shikshanam. Martya means a manushya. Shikshanam. So that's how Rama also taught as a human being the values, etc., ethical values. Bhagavan also taught in terms of Bhagavad Gita and others. So, this is how both the things are required. So, this is indicated. Protecting through education. Real protection is through education. Self-knowledge is a final protection, where you understand yourself as an immortal being. And at the same time, the Gada, etc., is for destroying the evil. So both is required. So most of the forms have this Chaturbhuja, etc. So he is saying, I am seeing this Chaturbhuja Vishnu in you, in this cosmic form. And then Tejo Rashim, Tejo means you are basically a mass of effulgence. Because the Lord consists of millions of stars, right? Millions of suns. And therefore you are the mass of effulgence, Tejo Rashim. And Dur Niriksham Samantat. So your form is such which is having that effulgence or a brilliance which is blinding. Dur Niriksham means not able to see. That happens to the people who are mountain climbers. I'm just giving example actually. Mountain climbers, especially Everest climbers, when they go up, they go to the upper range of the mountains. There they see only snow. And if the sunlight falls on that, and if you don't have a protective goggles, etc., they become blind. One person, one Everest climber gave an interview, which I just saw, and somehow he removed the goggles. And he literally not became totally blind, but he got the blindness for a number of years. After taking treatment for a number of years, he is now totally recovered. So my point is, this is called a blinding brilliance. So Bhagavan's effulgence also is like that. Dur Niriksham Samantat Tejo Rasham. So basically, you are the mass of effulgence, which is, and it is also equated with Tejo, it is also equated with Deepta Anala Arka Dyutim. Dyutim is again effulgence. It is Deepta Anala Arka. Deeptam means which is blazing. Deepta Anala means a blazing fire. Conflagration. Like a conflagration is there of a fire. Blazing fire is there, you cannot see. Blazing sun, Deepta Arka, that also you cannot see. So this is equal to that, like that. So Duriniriksham Samanta, Tejo Rashim, Deepta Anala Arka, Dyutim. Dyutim means effulgence again. So it is equated. It is like that. And then Sarvato Deeptimantam. So it is shining in all directions. Actually, directions are meaningless in a cosmos. If you are on a earth, well, and with respect to sun, you can say east, west, everything. Suppose, hypothetically, let us say, you are on a sun. Hypothetically, you are on a sun. All east, west, everything goes away. Yeah. You are on the earth, with respect to sun, you are saying that the sun rises, we say east. And then the opposite is west. And like that. And so, all this is with respect to standing on the earth. If you, instead of here, if you are standing on the sun, hypothetically, well, there is no direction. That shows all these directions are just imagination of our own mind. So in Vishwarupa, actually all these directions have no meaning. They do not exist actually. So anyway, so Sarvataha, Deeptimantam, all over. Deeptimantam is, I am seeing shining alone, nothing else. And what kind of shining? Which is blinding shining, blinding effulgence, brilliance. Then the final word which is used is aprameya. This is a word which is, we are very familiar with our Atma. Atma is called aprameya because Atma can never become an object of knowledge, because Atma is something which objectifies everything naturally and which is never available for objectification. Therefore, it's called aprameya. But aprameya word Bhagavan has used already in the second chapter. But here for this cosmic form aprameya is used. Even though Arjuna is objectifying, Arjuna is seeing, still it is being used as a aprameya, because what happens is when you gather a piece of knowledge, like let's say this thing, a paper, right? So when you gather this piece of a knowledge of a paper like that, so basically this, why we are able to gain the knowledge of that? Because it is very limited. And it is pervaded by our vritti, by our antakarana vritti, by our thought it is pervaded. It's very discrete, limited entity. And so the whole object is loaded in your mind in terms of a thought. and you say that I see a paper. It becomes the object of your knowledge. Therefore, this is called prameya, object of knowledge. But here this is cosmic form where you don't see a beginning, end, etc. Then how you are going to objectify? I gave you example in the first class of a space, whole space. You cannot objectify. Even if you want to objectify the whole space, you cannot. Same way this cosmic form, you cannot be able to objectify like that completely. And therefore it is called aprameyam. Could you follow? If a discrete object is there with a certain dimension, it is covered by the thought of the mind, and you will be able to objectify. You will say it becomes the object of my knowledge. But here, this cosmos is too vast, which cannot be covered in a single thought, and therefore it is aprameyam. So Shankaracharya ji defines it very carefully and says here that which cannot be circumscribed in a vritti, and therefore is aprameyam. Bhashyakara says ashakya parichedaha. Parichedaha means circumscription, etc. Cannot be circumscribed by a thought. Ashakya. So it's not available for distinct understanding. So aprameyam pashyami. But Arjuna says, I am not able to say that this is you, this much is you, because everything is ultimately you. So aprameyam is not, as I said, is not used in the sense of a, revealing Atma here. It is in terms of, it is not able to, we are not able to circumscribe it, objectify totally in a single thought. And then Bhashyakara says, Itaha evate yoga shakti darshanat anuminomi. Introducing a next verse, 18th verse, he says this. We'll understand that. Let's read the verse. Tamaksharam paramam veditavyam Tamasya vishvasya param nidhanam Tamavyaya shashvata dharma gopta Sanatanastvam purusho mato me. So Shankaracharya ji introducing this verse says that while seeing this everything, everything is included in this cosmic form, Arjuna makes a certain inferences. Arjuna as though validates what he has studied in the Shastra. Now he is getting that, he is able to say, yes, what I study is true. So seeing everything within this cosmic form of Krishna, Arjuna understands very first thing is, if all that is there, all the form, entire Jagat with discrete form which is there in the cosmic form, then definitely Ishvara is a cause of everything. Like all the forms, like a pot or a lead or anything, they all exist in what? In clay, right? They cannot exist independent of the clay. Therefore we can say that all these forms have a basis or have a cause, right? Which is called clay. Same way here, this everything that is within this cosmic form of Krishna, seeing that, Arjuna understands Ishvara as a cause of everything. So he is a Jagat Karan, and that is he has already studied. Now he is able to say that. And what is the cause of the entire world? Well, is Brahman, otherwise called Aksharam. So here it has been used, Tvam Aksharam, Paramam Veditavyam. You are that Parama Akshara, which is Brahman. Word Akshara, Paramakshara, etc. or Akshara has been used in a Mundaka Upanishad, even in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Both the places it is used in the sense of a Brahman which is the cause of the world. And Veditavyam, so you should be known. Arjuna says you should be known. Veditavyam means it should be known. So you should be known as a what? Tvam Veditavyam. You should be known as Paramaksharam. You should be known as the cause of the entire world. That's how Mundaka Upanishad says the same thing. Dve vidye veditavye parachaiva aparacha. One should acquire two types of knowledges. Yeah. One is say aparavidya. Aparavidya, the description is there. All the 4 Vedas and Vedangas, etc., Jyotisha, Chandas, etc., all this, the list is there in a Mundaka Upanishad. That is Aparavidya. One should know that. And the other is a Paravidya. Paravidya means where the subject matter is Aksharam. Yayata Daksharam Adhigamyate Sapara. That's how it has been said. By which you know the cause of the world, Brahman, you know the cause of the world. Of course, in Upanishad it is the cause of the world, the Brahman is myself. Because there is an equation. I am Atma, Brahma, etc. Anyway, so that is the thing. But here, of course, that part is not there. But Arjuna feels that, yes, I studied that the Ishvara or Brahman basically is the cause of the entire world I studied, which I am able to see because I see the entire cosmos present in you, non-separate from you, basically, which I am able to see. And what I am able to see is Drishyam. What is Drishyam is Mithya. Whatever is seen is an object, it's Mithya. It cannot exist independent of Brahman. Brahman lends existence to the entire world. So that's how the whole world is basically woven in Brahman. Yeah. So, woven in, because the very existence of the every name and form is, they give a very beautiful example of a embroidered cloth. A cloth is there, which is nothing but it has been woven, So, Otam cha Protam cha, both the types of threads are there. And with the weaver, basically, through his machine, weaves it and becomes a cloth. If you take away, then you will find the whole cloth can come in the form of a just thread. Right? That is the thing. And suppose somebody has embroidered a sun or a mountain or a human being on that cloth, then definitely that also is nothing but what? Same thread. Could you follow? So basically the sun or a human being or a mountain or all this are basically nothing but the thread which is woven in the form of this. Same way the whole creation also is like a canvas with varieties of the names and forms on that. And whole thing is woven in what? Brahman. It's a upadana karanam, which is the material cause, and therefore the whole thing exists in Brahman, and Brahman is called the cause, which lends existence to the effect is called cause. The effect, the jagat, well, basically is mithya. We call mithya means it is there for experience, but it doesn't have an independent existence. That's what it is. And therefore this is what has been, so it's said here. So according to Shruti, this, the adhisthana or the essence, the truth, the self of the entire universe is Aksharam. Paramam Aksharam, well basically, Paramam Aksharam, that's interesting. Word Akshara also has been used for Maya. Because Naksharati iti Aksharam. So Maya is something which is mithya, of course, but it is there from beginningless time, and it will be there. Non-separate from Ishvara, it will be always there. Because through that only the creation comes. Manifest becomes unmanifest, Maya, then again from unmanifest becomes manifest. So Maya also as though is not destroyed that way, but mithya. So basically that's called Aksharam. But really speaking, who lends existence to even Maya also is this Brahman. Therefore, Paramam Aksharam, basically it's a limitless, and which is Brahman, is the adhishthanam for the entire cosmos, in which all these forms, entire world appear. Of course, Arjuna does not take his inference to this far, naturally. Otherwise, no further thing, right? We should stop here, it's over. Upanishad stops. After saying that you are Brahman, Upanishad stops because the purpose of life is over. Knowing oneself as a full self which is of the nature of Ananda, immortal self, well, the purpose is served. Therefore, all Upanishad then stops. Any Upanishad you read, like a Mundaka Upanishad, Namah Parama Rushibhyah, Namah Parama Rushibhyah. So, this is repetition. Namah Parama Rishibhyah. So we salute to the entire parampara of the rishis who have given this knowledge of identity between me and Brahman. So like that, once a Upanishad establishes the identity between the individual and Brahman, it stops, because that is the subject matter, that is the purport. But here we should also stop, but no. Here Arjuna's inference is not that far. Arjuna's inference is, yes, I studied that Brahman is the cause of the world. I could see very well that the whole world exists in you. That is, which is we call as a paroksha jnanam. Aparoksha jnanam means you say, I am that Brahman, which is the cause of the world. Therefore, I manifest in the form of everything. Right? So I am Chidananda, that is fine. But I am Shiva also, the cause of the world. Chidananda Rupaha Shivoham. I am a Chidananda and Ishvara also is Chidananda. No. I am Chidananda, I am Shiva. Because all that is there is ultimately I am woman. As a Sachidananda, I am woman in everything. Therefore, all that is there is me, he can say. So, but here it is not. Arjuna is not going that far. Arjuna has still that ahankara, mamakara, everything is their issue. But yes, he inferred that what I studied before, it is true, that Ishvara Brahman is a cause of the entire world. Nidhanam. So, tvam asya vishwasya param nidhanam. Nidhanam is a thing in which everything is placed. It's called nidhanam, basis. Like, the Excel. Just an example. Excel is a nidhanam for all the spokes. All the spokes in a wheel have a basis in that Excel. Same way, the whole cosmos, all the names and forms are like a spokes. They have a basis in Ishvara. How can you say that? That's what he's seeing. He's seeing a cosmic form and he's seeing entire cosmos in him, not independent of him. And therefore, he is Tam Vishwasya Paramanidhanam. Actually, many things, like you people are sitting right now, this is a basis. Or I can say the table has a basis, that's better. Table has a basis in wood. Pot has a basis in what? Pot has a basis in clay. So they are also basis. Paramanidhanam, ultimate basis. You are the one who is a ultimate basis for everything. In a given, in empirical world, something is a basis for something else. That is there. But ultimate basis is called Paramanidhanam. And that is Ishvara, because the whole cosmos exists in Ishvara. Tam Avyayaha, so you do not undergo any change. Since all these forms basically depend upon you, so you do not undergo any change. You are the invariable factor in all. In the variable world which exists, there must be invariable factor which lends existence, and that is there. You can see even in the movie, movie means movati iti movihi, which constantly moves is a movie. But there is a changeless screen on which the whole thing moves. Same way here, Ishvara is basically a basis, Avyaya, which navyeti iti Avyaya, which is a changeless basis, which is basically timeless. Anything which is within time undergoes change. If Ishvara is the basis for the entire cosmos, including space and time, that is what is shown there. The sun and moon also has a basis in Ishvara. So sun and moon represent what? Kala, time. All our times, either through lunar calendar or through solar calendar. Sun and moon decides time. So that has a basis in Ishvara. And therefore Ishvara basically is timeless. Ishvara is not within time. Time is within Ishvara. Brahman, So definitely time also derives existence from you. And therefore timeless Brahman. Therefore Avyaya. And then Shashvata Dharma Gopta, he makes another inference and says that you are the Gopta, Rakshita. You are the protector of the Shashvata Dharma. You are protector of the eternal laws. All the laws are eternal, physical laws, starting from law of gravitation, biological laws, all laws by which the whole creation is governed. All are eternal. How can you say Swamiji eternal? It doesn't change. One thing. Second thing is when the next creation comes, it will be exactly like this, Shastra says. It will be exactly like this. Means the same laws will be there again. Therefore, the laws which govern the creation, physical, biological, psychological, all kinds of laws are there, which is we call, Swamiji used to call order, mandate, etc. Well, these all eternal laws are those laws which govern the creation are eternal. So, Shashvata Dharma Gopta, you are the protector of that. You are the basis for that, and you only manifest in the form of all laws, etc. And so Arjuna understands now that I see you as a Ishvara. He is now validating, imagine. So he recognizes Ishvara as a very Param Brahman, also as a Parameshvara. And Sanatanaha, you are eternal. And Arjuna says, this is me mataha, this is my appreciation. Shankaracharya ji explains this statement of Arjuna in introduction. He says, Anuminomi. So means basically he as though paraphrasing the words of Arjuna, Shankaracharya ji, and says, well, aham anumino means I infer that you are like that. You are the cause of the world. You are free from any change, etc. Nirvikara, etc. All this I anuminomi. You are imperishable, limitless Brahman. That all I infer. He doesn't say I am that Brahman. No, he doesn't say that. Right? If he says, then the next emotion will not be there. What is the next emotion? Fear. Fear only is born where there is a duality. When you think anything which is different from you, then that thing could be a source of fear today, tomorrow, or could be a source of fear in the past. Right? So, Dvaitati Bhayam Bhavati. So, definitely, Arjuna had a fear. He is going to express that fear. Seeing Ishvara, he has a fear. Definitely, he is seeing Ishvara as different from himself. That's for sure. And therefore, from 25th verse, I think, he's going to take away this form. I don't want to see. I am literally afraid. If Arjuna could say what would happen to us. Because Bhagavan says, look at me, I'm chewing all this. Bhishma and all this will be, all they are there in my teeth and etc. Which will be really a very, very terrified thing. And therefore, he says, I don't want to see. So if he is afraid of, naturally he takes Ishvara as different from oneself. If he knows that I am the Atma, well, I am Sachidananda, then he would say, I and Ishvara are one alone. He should say what? I am you, you are me. But he never says. That's how we have a 12th chapter, okay? The devotion, etc. is very much there. So, he's just endorsing that all these words which I studied in the Shastra, Jagat Karanam and all that, I now appreciate as a true. You are the complete being that includes all and you are the very basis of all, etc. So all this is a setup ultimately to reveal that Upanishad Vakyam, basically, that Dvaitati Bhayam Bhavati, and one who knows oneself as the very Sachidananda, etc., while he will establish in Advaitam. So that Abhayam Pratishtham Vindati, etc., also that statement is there. And in Taittiriya Upanishad it said, Yada hi evaisha etasmin udaramantaram kurute atha tasya bhayam bhavati. Utapi aram kurute. A slightest distance between you and Ishvara, if it is there in your mind, then definitely, then atha tasya bhayam bhavati. For that person, well, definitely there will be a bhaya. And Arjuna had a bhaya. Therefore, all this is saying that you are Brahman and everything, but it is a paroksha jnanam, not a paroksha jnanam. He is not that immediate self. The self which is self-revealing, self-existing, is the cause of the creation. I am in the form of the existence and lend existence to all names and forms. They are all imbibed in me. They are non-separate from me. He is not able to say that. Therefore, he has a fear also. So therefore, Bhashyakara has very quietly said, Me matam, me mataha. Arjuna says that this is my opinion. Means here Bhashyakara says this is the inference he has, which he has already studied from the Shastra. One who knows actually that I am Brahman, well, Taittiriya Upanishad, that Bhrigu went to Varuna and had that, he asked about Brahman. And then Varuna taught him. And ultimately Bhrigu said what? Aham annadaha. I am in the form of the food. I am in the form of this world which I experience. Food means. Aham annadaha. I am the one who eats the food. I am in the form of a food, and I am the one who is in the form of eater of the food, experiencer also. So subject object both is me. Like that, he said, this is a jnana, which Arjuna is not able to say. And further, when Bhrigu said, aham shlokakrit, basically, I am the very creator of the Vedas, my God. So all this is kind of a thing which is a result of the clarity in the knowledge, which is the subject matter of the Upanishad. Arjuna is not able to say. So he had a paroksha jnanam. That's how Bhashyakara uses the word anuminomi. Aham anuminomi. So Arjuna is saying, I infer that what I studied in the Shastra before is valid. That's what he says. We'll keep it up to this. Further we'll see later. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.